So I was doing some investigating the other day, and I sort of thought, what do you do when you're not at home and you want to basically power down your remote system? And we've got a 7610 on the other side of the room that's on a remote system, but also this one here, where, if lightning comes along, etc., etc., you got a fair bit of value in some of these radios. This particular 7850, they're a little bit silly in their cost. And I started having a look at something, and so this is the Inrad DCA dual radio antenna disconnector actuator. Okay, and what happens is you read through all their notes, which is all very nice, but let's pull it out of the box and show you what we've got. It's a lovely idea, it really is, and it's simple. It's even got the wrong plug. I was going to say it's got the right plug, but it hasn't. I need to adapt that to a, just so you can see on the back of the 7850 at least, that there will adapt the 7850 to, where is it? Oh, there it is, the DC plug. Yeah, there it is in the middle. So when this radio turns off here, this box here basically is grounding the antennas at the same time. So from the moment I turn this off, and even though I haven't, had time to think, oh, did I disconnect the antennas? Well, don't have to anymore. And this is really clever. And you obviously, sort of can pretty much set it up so that you've got two radio systems on it. Now, it may pay for me, just in the way that I've got things set up here, it may pay for me to use the remote off my 7610, the voltage off the 7610 as my basis of shutting the shack down. The reason for that is that if I run A to A, B to B, and A to A is the 7850 here, and B to B is the 7610, so that being the remote station, that being the home station, I can turn this from, I can be sitting at my laptop, or my, to be fair, I could do it anywhere, with my iPad, and the minute I turn my 7610, which is sort of a bit hidden behind Ron's 7700 at the moment, but behind here is a 7610, hard to believe, but it is somewhere back there. But yeah, so basically I can have this so that, I should have to check what they use on the back of the 7610. They probably use a DC plug as well. But what we can do is have a situation where the iPad takes voltage off this box, and both radios, whether it be the 7850 or the 7610 hiding there in the mess, will be grounded. And it's not a bad idea, it really isn't. Now, obviously you might sort of then say, well, okay, does that mean you're going to run your 7610 all the time? And yeah, I'm with you there, but I can't see a way around. I can't see a way around. I literally, to run the station here, I've got to choose which voltage I'm going to take this from, and I'm just trying to think how I could get around that. Whether I suppose I could run a dual. There's no reason I couldn't parallel, is there? So if I turn that, no, that's not going to work. Sorry, that was silly. Forget what I just said then. No, I definitely need one to be able to be turned off remotely that'll then affect the other, which is the 7610, yeah, for sure. So there's a little bit of thinking to get through there. Ideally, the other way to do it would be to have two. They have a single box that you can have, and basically, the minute you turn this radio off, it's just A to A. That's all there is. That's grounded, and the same would be with the remote box. And I may buy one of the single boxes as well, to be fair, and then put my B to B as possibly on my IC70. 9700 or something. Yeah, it's just an entirely different concept, where then the moment I turn the power off on this radio here, I'm protecting my high value 9700, 7850, and I'm basically, saying, well, right, that's great, and then I can remotely with one more box. So I'll be buying another one. You can see I'm thinking out loud here, but that's all right. That's what this game's all about, isn't it? But look, I really think they're a great idea. You know, just put a good ground to them, hook them up, and look, what a great idea just to be able to say, well, you've got your antennas disconnected. We get a lot of lightning around here. And I'm just having a look. See, the only thing I'm sort of thinking is whether or not these would work efficiently at UHF, VHF, and I don't think this particular model will. I'm just looking at, they're saying HF 6 meter antenna over here. So, you know, that might be something for me to check in the specs as to exactly how far up in frequency these, but I did like the fact that they can do, you know, quite a bit of power through these things. Now, obviously we don't run anywhere near that much, but here in Australia, but certainly the ability for it to handle that is good with the relays, etc. And yeah, here you go. The DCA1 model allows one transceiver to be attached, and the DCA allows two. Yeah. So what we end up doing with this will be interesting as far as we will probably put one of my other HF radios. You know, whether it be this, I don't think it's going to cover the 9700, and quite seriously, you know, sort of, I probably wouldn't want it to in the losses that it might, you know, sort of at UHF, VHF, but we'll see. We'll have a bit of a look at just what the specs say. I wouldn't be surprised if they've got a VHF, UHF version available for this. But have a look at this, the circuit, and well, it's really just a little block diagram, operational diagram. It's really pretty simple. You could make one, you know, if you had the right relays, you know, you could, because they're just basically detecting and saying, right, yep, no worries. Grounding if there's no power, very simple. It's you know, look, and the other thing too is these boxes, they weren't expensive at all. They're for what they are, I think they're a godsend for what they're protecting. So anyway, so that's the Inrad DCA2 dual radio antenna disconnector actuator. And in the flesh, you know, it's a nice chunky box. It's well made. Certainly, I think they've done well. I think one of the clubs around Australia should make one of these. I think it'd be a good project. You know, get a nice die-cast sort of box, something heavy duty that can, you know, handle a bit of RF. And you know, I really feel confident that you probably, you know, sort of could have a product made here in Australia. Nothing against the Inrad, I think it's wonderful, but of course by the time you convert the US dollar, I think it works out by the time you freight it, you know, you're going to pay about $300. Might have been just a tad more to get one of these over. And the single one was cheaper, it was about 130 US. This was about 199 US, I think, from memory, 189. So, you know, the big thing being the freight and also just, you know, sort of the conversion of the dollar these days. All right, well, geez, a bit of noise on at the moment. It's a bit staticky outside. I think we've got a storm coming in, but we'll see. What's this? Oh, okay. This must be a Sam thing. I don't know. Not quite sure what's going on there. She would have got it for the boobies. Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, I'll put her up there. I need to dust a little bit too in here. But yes. Anyway, be thinking about that. Protect your radios. I've only ever had one circumstance where I spent a lot of I was going to say I spent a lot of money, but no, I wasn't insured for it. But I spent a lot of time thinking this could have been done better. I could have protected myself better. It was just one where we took a hit a few years back. But anyway, look, insurance did cover that, to be fair. So keep yourself well insured too, I suppose. All right, 73s. This is the well, Inrad DCA1 or DCA2, depending on what you want to protect. And me, I want to protect the IC 7850 with my life. Cheers, guys. All the best.